Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy May 6th. I hope you are all well. Thank you for tuning into this live stream. If you are here on the at Cedarfield, thank you for tuning in here at 3 o'clock. Those of you that are listening from home, thank you for taking time out of your evening, taking time out of your family time to view this information. We appreciate it. So we're going to do something a little different today. The format of today is as follows. We have two residents with us, Mrs. Barbara Fiske and Mrs. Lynn, that are going to give us a little snapshot of an action team that we have created here over the last 2 years called the Diversity and Inclusion Action Team, followed by Dr. Shear and Ann Hopper will give us another COVID-19 segment, and then yours truly will be back for some administrative updates, including some COVID-19 communication. So, I got a great big smile right now because it's the first time I've had the pleasure of having a prolonged exposure with more than 2 residents in over 10 weeks. So here to give us about a 10-15 minute overview of our diversity and inclusion action team is Ms. Lynn and Ms. Fiske.
Good afternoon, Cedarfield. We are grateful to Michael for this opportunity to update you on the Diversity and Inclusion Action Team and to inform our newcomers about this particular team. Today, I have received a number of questions from our team members that they have heard from the residents. So I'm going to ask Monty Lynn to ask the question, and I'm going to try to give the answer. Monty?
Okay, the first question is, whose idea was it to create the Diversity and Inclusion Group?
During the summer of 2017, a small group of residents were reviewing and observing changes at Cedarfield that had happened the previous 5 to 7 years. And one of the observations was the employees had increased in diversity during that time frame, but the resident population had not. So the discussion continued to speculate why. Because our population was not resembling Henrico County or the United States population. So this small group of people decided to talk to Michael about it and determine if this is an issue and if we should take action. What should we do? We approached Michael and he agreed to listen to us. He encouraged us to form a committee and enlarge it beyond the few people who were present that day. He promised his support and that he would attend some of our meetings, and he has kept his promise. Today, we have 3 administrators and 25 residents for a total of 28 team members.
Next question is, what is the Diversity and Inclusion Action Team?
The Diversity and Inclusion Action Team is a group of residents and administrators who have chosen to join this discussing and determining what actions we could take. Diversity at that time was considered looking at minority groups such as culture, race, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexuality, age, and so forth. Today, we look at our population as all people.
What is the purpose of this team?
After multiple meetings, this team devised its own purpose. We chose to name it these purposes. First, to encourage within the Cedarfield community a welcoming environment. And two, to attract a more diverse population. It is obvious that we have been working on attitudinal changes as well.
Why does the environment need to change?
24 years ago, Cedarfield opened, and the original newcomers created a very warm, welcoming environment for all the newcomers. I believe we value that warmth. We believe in diversity. We believe in making us better people by becoming more aware of trust, respect, kindness, compassion, and so on.
How is the team evolving?
At the beginning, this team sought to develop outreach, helping the Richmond area community understand that Cedarfield was not a place to come and die. We wanted people to understand that Cedarfield is a vibrant, elegant community that believes in learning and enjoying life. So the team then decided they couldn't accomplish that. So they began to turn inward and decide we need to educate ourselves. And we have done that by reminding ourselves that each of us has that ability to learn. Recently, we moved toward inclusion and remembered the words of Maya Angelou. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike.
What has the team been doing for the community?
I believe we continue to meet, discuss, and decide what action to take. During 2019, we developed a number of partnerships. One of our first partnerships was with the Welcoming Committee, and we have seen that they have listened to us and developed some new suggestions and have created more communication in developing welcoming avenues with the area representatives. They have also developed the Ambassadors Program. They also advocated for the hospitality table and worked with the dining committee. One of our biggest partnerships is with the Wellness and Leisure team. They have listened to almost all of our requests and implemented them. One of our famous ones is a movie series with discussion. You may remember the movie Templin Grandin with the autism maid, M-A-I-D, a maid in Manhattan, two people who fell in love despite cultural differences. How about Green Book? Remember Green Book, the relationship between a black man and a white man traveling in the South using that Negro Green Book. Also the movie Peanut Butter Falcon, about a young teenage boy with cognitive difficulties who wanted to wrestle. We believe this discussion continues to heighten awareness that diversity is multiple. In addition to our movie series, we have also worked with the Wellness and Leisure team to bring about trips and tours, dinners, festivals, and so on. Some of you may remember going out to restaurants, particularly the ethnic ones, and having the opportunity to listen and ask questions of the owner or the serving staff. One of our trips that we coordinated with Wellness and Leisure was to invite Adele Johnson from the Black History Museum, and then made 2 trips to the Black History Museum in Richmond.
What would the team
Wait a
like
minute,
to
excuse me, I'm not finished.
Sorry.
I love to talk. We have also partnered with the library. If you enter our library and look on the right-hand side, you will see a section on diversity and inclusion. Some of our members have formed the Conversational Spanish group that meets once a month in the hub to exchange conversation, improve their skills, and ready themselves to talk with our team members who speak Spanish. Individuals within our team have chosen to form relationships within other teams, such as the creative arts, gardening, focus group, and so on. I believe our members feel more comfortable and confident now as they continue down the hallways, greeting people, inviting them to dinner, and openly discuss a variety of questions.
What would you, this team, like to do in the future?
Beyond these 2 months of isolation, we believe that we will move as a team in gathering. At our last meeting in January, we wanted to look at hospitality and civility. Perhaps we will have that kind of training. In the past, our team has had training in it's called diversity and unconscious bias. With a number of our team members took training 2 days over 2 weekends in the pledge to end racism in Richmond. We also invited Ben Carson, a minister here in Richmond who worked on social justice issues all his life. He spoke to us about racism in Richmond and encouraged us to develop a project. I'd like to talk just a bit about the past. In the past, we lost a member in February, Pete Davis, who was a very encouraging member of our team. In Dayton, he chose to advocate for public transportation from the city to the suburbs. And when he arrived here in Richmond, he continued those efforts. So I thank you for taking a moment to remember one of our members, Pete Davis.
Who can belong to this group?
Oh, we help any resident or any team member who is interested. Please come attend one of our quarterly meetings. Plan to maybe join and become an active member, or call me. And my telephone number and email are in the directory and on TouchTap. My name is Barbara Fiske rhymes with whiskey, so you don't forget. You are welcome to join us anytime with ideas and suggestions. Let's see how this is going to work. I would like to leave you with this message. The key ingredient to inclusivity is kindness. You may have seen this sign around the building. It hangs in a number of offices and around apartments. Ginny Bennell started painting these signs, and all over Richmond they are found in the yards, on cars, and in people's homes. This is our key ingredient for the new year. Join that trend nationally as well as within our community. Thank you very much. And thank you, Marty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. That was great. Renee, I think we just found a new host for 3 o'clock live streaming. Did we not? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I can hear 500 gays out there, Mrs. Disney.
Good job.
Okay, just a little bit about some COVID-19 communication. This slide yesterday had some inaccurate information. I just want to clarify one thing. Yesterday, this slide had 42 residents tested, and I apologize for that error. A couple of folks actually who are doing some accounting and forensics behind the scenes corrected me on that. There are actually 43, and currently there are 8 residents that, in a cumulative number, that have tested positive for COVID-19. And then yesterday, I had reported on the screen that there was 75 team members that were tested, and while that is true, there were 75 tested during the point prevalence survey. Prior to that point prevalence survey, we had 7 additional team members that were tested. So in total, we have currently 8 team members that have tested COVID positive. So wanted to clarify that data for everyone. And then just to touch on our preparedness plans right now. So we have shifted our focus beyond the testing while we are being diligent about the people, the residents, and the team members who have been tested around, and being vigilant with the protocols around those 16 people. We're moving past that moment of time where we were relying on knowing positives and negatives, and now we are aggressively looking at other infection control standards to implement throughout the building, throughout independent living, and even in the cottages. As the Department of Health, the epidemiologists, and the National Guard have helped me clearly understand over the last 2 weeks that in any outbreak, and particularly a COVID-19 outbreak, the lion's share of the preparedness plan should evolve around aggressive, vigilant infection control. And so we have moved quickly into that phase. Connie McGowan, along with our infection control director, along with our interim director of nursing, nursing, Myra Sermon. They have been working very closely with the team on those differing standards in the health, particularly the health center. So if anybody has any questions about more detail about what those enhanced standards look like, please feel free to contact the administration department, and I'd be happy to answer anyone's question. Okay, next up is Dr. Amy Shear and Ian Hopper with a COVID-19 navigating segment. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, Michael, Dr. Shear has been on all these live streams. Where in the world is Dr. Michael Varanian? He's our medical director for the last 22 years. Where is he? So I just want to assure everyone, Dr. Varanian is still with us. He's very critical at the core with our preparedness plan. We have chosen to consult with Dr. Varanian from a distance for obvious reasons. He's our medical director, and due to some other demographics around Dr. Varanian, we want him to be at a distance and then consulting us with not only our preparedness plan, but he's alive and well on our influenza COVID-19 action team, which consists of Ian Hopper, Dr. Shear, myself, Matt Dameron, and our director of nursing. So just want everyone to know he's here, he's present, he's very active, he calls us every day. We're talking to him every day, and he is very much a part of this entire preparedness plan. But for now, we will begin, and Dr. Shear on for a couple of questions.
Well, Anne, I just want to start off by saying Happy Nurses Week. Thank you. Everybody knows that it is Nurses Week. We normally have the big giant signs out front, so this is definitely a unique year for all of our staff and, holidays and celebrations in general, so.
Exactly.
Happy Nurses Week.
Thank
To
you.
all of our nurses.
That's right. Happy Nurses Week to all the nurses out there. And we have gotten some nice little presents, cards. Everyone's been very sweet.
Good.
So thank you. All right, and I have one bit of information. If someone is out there and lost a hearing aid, there was one found on the sidewalk of B Wing. So if you're missing a hearing aid, call Karen Tate. All right, and now we'll get started. Dr. Shear, we had this big test that happened last week. Where is COVID at Cedarfield?
So, I think Michael might have already gone over this, but we do have 8 positive cases here. 7 of those 8 are located in the healthcare, correct? And then 6 of them are in healthcare, all of which are in the kind of south wing, and under kind of extra surveillance, extra infectious disease protocol is all initiated in that area. So the majority of cases are all in that area. Of those that aren't, I know most of them are traceable back to there as well. So I think all of them are traceable back to that healthcare area. So we have not had any big surprises yet, and hopefully we'll continue to not have any big surprises. And everybody's doing that, right? In any other areas. So far, we've kept it contained to just that one area in healthcare.
Good. So, next question. How can we keep it out?
So I just want to say, for one, I think we continue to do what we're doing.
to it being here, you know, I was looking at, you know, cases of COVID in some of the Washington nursing homes and assisted living facilities, as well as some of the other places that have had rampant. You know, when I just looked at the numbers, I mean, they went from, they had 1 patient within a week, they had 6 patients within another week, 11 did their mass testing, had 29 positive cases. That is the expectation, okay? That is what we're seeing. So the fact that we went from 1, and it took over a week to get to, you know, 7, we did mass testing, we're still at 8. I mean, that's showing we're doing a good job. We're not gonna be 100% here. We will see some from community, and hopefully not. But I think the reality is it's a very infectious virus. It doesn't take a lot of the virus for this to spread. They're having to be just incredibly cautious with how we treat people, with the processes we go through to keep it from spreading from one side to another, room to room, patient to patient. And like I said, the expectation is that exponential curve, and we're very fortunate that we haven't seen that. So I think that we do all the things we've been doing. We keep listening to the public health department, to, you know, the Virginia Health Department, to, you know, those giving advice to Michael and to our director of nursing. And we continue to implement, you know, as we learn more, you know, we keep working on this process, and just, we stay obsessed about it, because that's what you have to be to keep it at these numbers. You have to be completely obsessed.
So they're diligent upstairs in healthcare with a zip wall, the PPE that the nursing staff is wearing when they go in.
Yeah, we're doing, I mean, like I said, we're definitely trying to do everything possible, even going down to, you know, really trying to take a hard, fast look at those that are on physical therapy, occupational therapy, and we minimize those contacts. You know, do they truly have to have it right now? Can it be on pause for a certain period of time? And let's reevaluate if it's truly beneficial, or if that's an unnecessary exposure. You know, really limiting, you know, how nurses are going in, coming out, you know, no crossover as much as possible, and then all the stations around where we can, you know, sanitize our feet, so we're not tracking it, you know, into, you know, the face masks and everything else, but also just, you know, the wash stations, you know, washing between, you know, different floors, all of that. So it definitely, you know, takes some extra time, and, you know, we're working on, you know, making sure everybody's getting what they need, and then also evaluating what all of those needs look like, and figuring out, okay, is this a true need, or is this convenience?
Right.
And something we put on hold so that we can allow for that extra time the staff needs to do all of these extra processes. And also, can we spend less time, you know, in those affected rooms, with, you know, direct contact with, you know, potential spread, you know, for our staff as well as our patients.
Right. So, okay, sounds good. Here's another one about licensed area. What are the new medication changes in the licensed area?
So I think we're getting, so a lot of those phone calls are actually usually coming from family members that are noticing that we're, you know, we are taking a hard, fast look at all the medications that everybody's on. And this includes both, you know, special care and assisted living, because, you know, those are still patients that receive medication from a nurse. So if you think about the, you know, the close proximity somebody has to be to have like an eye drop, for an example, put in. You know, we really want to be looking at, is this, you know, a treatment that is truly necessary, or is it, you know, it was put on for dry eyes and we just kind of kept it on there and we never really evaluated whether or not it's keeping their eyes, you know, moist, or if they truly need it or not. dispensing that takes time, getting it from pharmacy, having to do those refills. You know, if it's an essential medication, we want to keep it, you know, their blood pressure medicines, their, you know, aspirin, those kind of things. But if it's not benefiting in an overall, you know, if it's not changing the course of disease, I think that we, you know, we're evaluating all medications and trying to really scale down and reduce medication lists for those reasons. So that's why, to some extent, you know, you may be getting calls as family or maybe questioning why your medications have been discontinued. And it all goes along with trying to, again, minimize those contacts, minimize the time spent, all in an effort to kind of support our staff and to support our patients in this.
Right, okay. All right, we're concerned about decline due to inactivity and maybe even poor eating habits. What do you think about that? What will we do?
Yeah, so I think it's, you know, I think we're gonna come out of this, you know, a month from now, a year from now, and we're gonna see that there's been some loss, you know, that we've lost some good residents, that we've seen, you know, that we may have lost some years. And I think a lot of that, I think we're, you know, we do acknowledge that the protocols themselves and what we need to be doing right now may cause decline in other ways. And one of the biggest is that, you know, we are seeing that people spending more time in their rooms is causing some weakness. In our healthcare areas, in our assisted living areas, our special care, you know, that loss of the activities that they normally had is taking its toll. And I don't want to sugarcoat that in a perfect world without COVID, we would continue to have those activities, and they do benefit our residents. And so the loss of that is going to take a toll, and I don't want anybody to think that it's not. I think, you know, we're going to be dealing with this long after even a vaccine is available. And I think even in independent living, you know, we're going to see some weakness, some weight loss, some, you know, people that are normally social eaters not eating. You know, that's not unheard of, that we're seeing that. You know, I don't know that there's, you know, huge interventions that we can do that we're not already doing. But, you know, I think it's important to acknowledge that there is going to be some loss from all of this that doesn't have to do with positive patients that are, you know, separate from.
Right.
I think we are going to see a lot of that, and we are seeing that now.
Okay, so now we're hearing that the governor is going to loosen up or start phase 1. And I don't know exactly what that entails yet, but what does that mean for Cedarfield? We're not into phase 1 yet, are we?
No. And I don't think that we should at all be. I think, you know, this is a unique community. And we love this community. We are a part of this community. And we want to keep this community healthy and vibrant. And, you know, one of the things, you know, as we've seen, what can rip through this community is COVID. So although the rest of Virginia may be able to, you know, be a little lax, because, you know, well, it doesn't, you know, what opening up means is not that there's less COVID happening or less positive patients. What it means is the hospitals have room for you. I mean, you think about that, you know, what it means is we've got enough ICU beds. That doesn't mean that people are not getting sick.
Right.
And unfortunately for our residents is when we get sick here with COVID, a lot of us won't survive. I mean, that's, you know, and so we need to be way more careful careful, way more diligent, we need to think that much harder and be a little more cautious when it comes to easing restrictions.
Okay. So I guess this, I already know the answer to the next question, but I'm going to ask it. When the hair salons open up and the barber shops, can we go?
No. I mean, I can't say that you can't go, would I recommend it? No, absolutely not. Again, you know, when we look how little of this virus is needed for you to become infected, how people can have it and not know it for a couple of days, I just don't feel like it's worth the risk. And this, you know, we will have a vaccine at some point. We will be able to go to our hairdresser again. But I think, is it worth it right now? No, it is not. It's not worth the heartache that your family goes through. It's not worth, you know, your neighbor, the heartache that all of us go through. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, I think that we really need to prioritize what we want right now. And, you know, opening up means we've got enough room in the hospital, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to get sick. Interesting. We are expecting you to get sick and be prepared.
Right. That's scary. Okay, so as a result of all this, what can I do to help? What can a resident do?
Well, I think that we have, you know, there's a couple of things that all of us can be doing. One is stay as healthy as possible. So again, doing those things like, you know, getting some physical activity, following along with, you know, the sit and get fit when they do that. So exercises you can do within your apartment or within your home are important. We want, you know, we've seen where, you know, increased physical activity is beneficial. Having that increased lung capacity is shown to have, you know, less people on the ventilators, and not seeing as many people that have, you know, that are athletic, that are, you know, having severity of disease, although I think we'll find out more later on. But, you know, new information comes out all the time. But I do think that, you know, anything we can do that's keeping us healthy, keeping us out of the doctor's office, keeping us out of the hospital, is important. So everything we can do to stay healthy, including, you know, I mean, weight loss is 90% diet, they're saying. So if we can eat healthy, if we can really be watching, you know, kind of those comfort foods that we're liking right now, really trying to take an evaluation of, you know, our eating habits, trying to do things that help us with good sleep, not focusing too much on all the negative news and negativity surrounding all of this, I think is very important. Another thing I would say is, you know, another thing you can do as, you know, residents here is, you know, be more outwardly focused. I think it's important to be checking on your neighbors right now. For the sense of community and to decrease that, you know, we have social distancing, but we don't want social isolation. So to, you know, to work on that. Also, you know, we need eyes and ears right now. We need to know, you know, we're not seeing people physically, so it's important that we're checking on our friends and making sure that they're okay. You know, spreading that kindness too. I think, you know, we have an opportunity when we're in a unique situation to have a unique response. And I think, you know, we've seen some of the negativity out there with all the protests and the people, you know, really criticizing and everything. I think trying to be encouraging right now is really important. And to let the people doing a good job know that they're doing a good job is important. So I think, you know, I think it's important to really kind of focus on supporting our staff because they're going through a lot. And a lot of our nurses and a lot of our aides are staying, you know, working on weekends that they don't normally work and picking up extra shifts and trying to meet the needs of everyone here. And I think it's important that they get recognized and that they get that encouragement. And I think, you know, for so many things that we can't do right now, I think that's one of the things we really should be doing. And what I would encourage our residents to do, you know, if they're able to write notes, if they're able to write emails, if they're able to kind of show the love of the people that work here, I think it's important, and I think they need that right now.
That's a really good point. And I think one other thing, as the weather improves, get outside for some natural vitamin D.
Vitamin D is good, and just, you know, the stress relief that comes to, it reminds me of an article I read about like the walkers, and it talks about how, you know, you have the social walk and you have the distancing wave, and just how beneficial it is to make you feel less like you're in the middle of a pandemic, which we are, to be able to get outside and walk around and keep those distances, but be able to see people is a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, we don't want to gather, but again, we do want some physical activity is always good.
That sounds good. Any questions, anything, Michael? Nope, we're good. Until next time.
Thank you, Dr. Shearer. Thank you, Ann. This next little segment is for families that are watching tonight, especially those of you that are in the city of Richmond. Our supplies shuttle program will continue on Friday. For those of you that can't read the screen, Friday we are, the supply shuttle program will continue for loved ones in the health center, assisted living, and or memory support area. A couple of administrative updates. One thing, probably two frequently asked questions here over the last day or so had to do with construction update. Michael, where are we at with pond dredging? And where are we at with the Park View entrance project? I took the liberty of taking a few pictures. Thank you, Vivian, for inspiring me from your pictures from yesterday over at the court repaving project. I took some pictures here this morning of the pond dredging, for those of you that cannot get around the pond. This is a picture of one of the caterpillars right smack in the middle of the pond. And they're taking a lot of the sediment over here, bringing it here, and then he's going to move that caterpillar over on that side and then do the same thing. It's a long process. Here's another snapshot from the deck. It's probably my favorite one of all. You can see how they're digging and how much they're digging. In this particular area, they're going down about 8 feet. This picture is a snapshot from the deck all the way to the clubhouse. So behind those trees is the clubhouse. So you can see the amount of work that they still have to go through. And again, here's the caterpillar sitting right smack in the middle of the pond. So we've had 9, according to NOVA, we've had 9 official rain days for construction personnel. So they are roughly about 8 or 9 days off of their schedule. They were to complete this project by the end of May. Looks like we're aiming a little bit more towards the first week in June. The Parkview entrance project, however, is on schedule, and they should be, we had set a target date for them of May 15th, which is next Thursday or Friday, and they will complete 2 things we asked them to complete. One is the water detention system. That will be complete, and then the second thing is finishing the fire lane, connecting that fire lane to the circle. So both of those items will be complete as of next Friday or earlier. This will probably wrap up next Wednesday. Amanda wanted me to share a little bit of the grocery shopping. We talk a lot about grocery shopping. We actually changed this process probably about a month ago and tried to organize it a little bit better. So I just wanted to emphasize, we're going to emphasize who's up next on this live stream for the following day. So it's tomorrow, grocery shopping is for residents who live, I hope I'm getting this right, for those that live on the 4th floor in independent living, and orders must be in by tonight at 8 o'clock. And here's the telephone number, 474-8895. If you wish for them to shop for you tomorrow, please take your order in tonight by 8 o'clock. When Ann and Beth Rutherford get in early in the morning, they're for an hour, they're just taking things off of voicemail and then organizing their shopping spree. Their $1,000 shopping spree that they're going to go complete within a 2-hour period of time. Just want to emphasize something that Dr. Shear and Ann were talking about. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. So the governor's starting to ramp up his news conferences about reopening Virginia. And while that is great news for everyone, there are 3 particular phases that Dr. Burke and Dr. Fauci worked with the White House task force and at the federal level, and the states are utilizing those 3 phases in coming up with a local plan, a statewide plan and a local plan. Cedarfield is going to have to develop our own plan as well. As Dr. Shear had mentioned, this virus is not kind to the vulnerable population. So people 65 years of age and better, this disease is not kind. It's a killer. And so how we take our phasing plan, the governor's phasing plan, and how we mold it into a new norm here at Cedarfield is going to be absolutely key. So Dr. Shear and Ann gave a strong caution. While next week restaurants may open and beauty shops may open, barber shops may open, you absolutely can leave the campus and go to any one of these particular sites. Most of them are going to have policies in place that have to do with social distancing and physical distancing. And I would just implore you, please, now is not the time for anyone living in a retirement community, a nursing home, an assisted living community, or a retirement community. Now is not the time to relax your own behavior and what you're doing to look yourself in the mirror and identify things that you need to do in order to change your norm in order to adapt to a COVID-19 world. A vaccine is not available right now. And it won't be available through the fall. We don't know when. And until that vaccine is created and and distributed on a mass production so that it's available to all of us, there's going to be a new norm of how we operate a retirement community. There's going to be a new norm out in the marketplace about how you go to a restaurant, or how you, like beauty and barber shops, like how you go make an appointment. And so if there are any restaurants or beauty or barber shops, not to pick on those 2 different industries, that aren't really adhering to the new norm and policies, I would just strongly encourage you not to place your business with those entities, because your health and safety is in jeopardy, and then consequently, when you come back to Cedarfield, the health and safety of over 800 people are also at risk. So we are starting to ramp up our plan. I can assure you that the team is meeting tomorrow and Friday. I'm I'm going to present a preliminary phase 1, 2, and 3 plan to our Pinnacle Living Office, Chris Henderson, our CEO, talking about our new norm, talking about the 3 phases, the different service amenities that we have at the community, and how we can sustain life as we know it right now, but yet move into phase 1, 2, and 3 so that we have infection control standards throughout the community while we reopen the wellness building, the restaurants, etc. It's going to be critical that we all are on the same page and working together, especially as Mrs. Fiske said, we're all going to be needing a lot of kindness over these next 6 to 7 weeks in order to get used to a new norm until they really develop a vaccine. And one other note about developing a reopening phase 1, 2, and 3 plan. Carol Marco, I talked with her last night, and it was her suggestion, and I took the suggestion, and we're gonna take that golden nugget, and I think Carol's actually gonna be the point person. Her suggestion was, Michael, shouldn't we have a resident involved with the planning as well? And so that's just a great suggestion. So I believe Carol, as the resident advisory chairperson, is going to take the helm of that. If I'm misquoting you, Carol, then I apologize. Carol would probably appoint somebody to serve on our planning committee to go through phase 1, 2, and 3 so that we have the residents' perspective of different items and how to unfold what we currently have. So thank you, Carol, for that suggestion. Cedar Digest is, Mr. Beck is looking for stories and he's looking for writers. So if you had many residents here, probably, except for probably the ones that have moved in April and March, have read the Cedar Digest many times. You are very familiar with the content and the theme of the Cedar Digest. If you had a story that comports with the philosophy of the Cedar Digest, and if you had a gift in writing, Mr. Beck would love to talk with you. We're going to come out with a new edition here soon, and he's looking for great interest stories and also people to write them. So please reach out to Mr. Beck if you have an interest in either one of them. I just want to give a little plug to Lisa G., our volunteer coordinator. 2 weeks ago or so, Lisa got on a website where different organizations around the city of Richmond are supporting one another through this COVID-19 situation. And she put out there a need for puzzles, that Cedarfield needs puzzles. In one 24-hour period of time, Lisa G. collected 60 puzzles, 60. So here in the next week or so, those puzzles are going to be distributed. Karen Hoffman and the Wellness and Leisure team, along with Lisa, are going to be distributing those puzzles out for those of you that have a great interest in doing puzzles. I would implore you, one little tidbit about the Shaw household: when we go through a puzzle, we shellac those puzzles together, we frame them, and then we go to local boys and girls shelters so that they have some decorations for their walls. So those of you that are putting puzzles together, you might just want to think about putting those puzzles together on a piece of cardboard and then getting them ready to frame so that we can use that as art for people around the city of Richmond. And then last thing on my plate has to do with rogue trail walkers. Rogue trail walkers. Renee, you know what a road trail walker is? So we have some very safe sidewalks around Cedarfield. We have very safe, the lane is fairly safe, the court is fairly safe. We have a beautiful courtyard with safe sidewalks. It's come to my attention that a few residents have created their own rogue trails around different parts of Cedarfield and are encouraging other residents, they're roguing, new term, and they're encouraging residents to take these new trails. I want to caution everybody that some trails are very unsafe. Some trails, if you go roguing on these trails, your pendant will not work if you're in the woods beyond our perimeter. And so my caution here is, please be safe as you're walking around the campus. Please utilize the sidewalks. I know we have a little bit of an issue between B wing and C wing. We're going to fix those sidewalks here shortly. But please don't be taking these road trails and just going off by yourself into these trails. It's very unsafe. I actually went on one of these trails, and it's just really not safe, especially if you have an assistive device that you need to accompany you along the walk. So that is my public disclaimer here of caution. Okay. Do you have any questions coming in? I got the phone, Renee, I never gave the phone today. See if we have any questions. So someone just texted me, you have everyone here scared to death that if they get it, they are going to die. Maybe that's good, however, it's not a fact. I know this is tough times, however, it's not automatic death if you get this. Whoever wrote that text, you're absolutely right. I don't think I have been saying that. This disease, COVID-19, it does have a strong propensity towards the vulnerable population, which is 65 years of age and better. If you get it, you don't automatically die. If I said that, if you get it, if I have said that, I apologize. Many people that have good immune systems and aren't compromised, even people that do have an immune system, compromised immune systems, people do survive from this if they get it. So I apologize if I have said that. Didn't mean to scare or alarm everybody. I don't believe we had any other questions. That was the only question that came in today. Okay. Again, it's Nurses Week. If you see a nurse, if you know of a nurse, if you want a list of our nurses, please contact administration. We'll gladly get you a list of our nurses so you can write them some thank you notes. It's a really important week as we celebrate 45 people that work here have an LPN or an RN degree and are part of our team. And so we honor them and we support them and lift them. This is a particular week that we really want to lift them up for all that they do. It is a gift from God that they are nurses. There's a very small fraction of people in the world that only can do what they do best. And so the 45 nurses that we have, Happy Nurses Week. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you're doing. Okay, is that one more question? You can still put grocery lists
In the trade and the business office.
Okay.
No.
So a comment just came in. I think I made a comment over here about grocery shopping, that your list, you can still put your list in the bin in the business office. For those of you that are walking around the campus and have been putting your list in that bin that's located in the business office. You can absolutely.
The resident business area.
Do you want to talk a bit about it, Karen?
No, you're doing good. I just wanted to, I've had some calls and they asked if they still could.
Resident.
The resident business center. Anything else, Karen?
No, we're good.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you, Karen. Okay. We are going to close today with something a little different. Barb Burfus, he has asked to do the final third, followed by our good news segment from Margaret.
I'd like to share with you this prayer that is often repeated with my prayer group. My voice will carry better with this microphone. I'd like to share a prayer that I have shared with my prayer group. And it's important to me because it covers all aspects of living. The Daily Ground by Rabbi Randy Shapiro in the book called Earth Prayers, published in 1991. My friends, let us give thanks for wonder. Let us give thanks for the wonder of life that infuses all things now and forever. Blessed is the source of life, the fountain of being, the wellspring of goodness, compassion, and kindness, from which we draw to make for justice and peace. From the creative power of life, we derive food and harvest. From the bounty of the earth and the yields of the heavens, we are sustained and are able to sustain others. All life is holy, sacred, worthy of respect and dignity. Let us give thanks for the power of heart to sense the holy in the midst of the simple. Each of us is unique, coming into this world with a gift no other can offer ourselves. We eat simply to satisfy our own appetites. We eat to sustain ourselves in the task we have been given. We eat to nourish the vehicle of giving. We eat to sustain our task and repair our quest for harmony, peace, and justice. We eat and we are revived, and we give thanks to the lives that were ended to nourish our own. May we merit this sacrifice and honor their sparks of holiness through our deeds of loving kindness. We give thanks to the power that makes for meeting, for our table has been a place of dialogue and friendship. We give thanks to life. May we never lose touch with the simple joy and wonder of sharing a meal. Amen.
Hi, everyone. Hi,
everyone.
This is very exciting part of our presentation, and I'm thrilled to be able to share this with you. Our good news segment today is brought to you by this little cutie. She is standing in a tree, and we would like to introduce you to Tula. Tula is 3 years old and is the great-granddaughter of Lou and Charlie Weber. She lives in Greenville, South Carolina, with her parents, Laura and Jonathan. Jonathan, who is Lou and Charlie's grandson. Thanks to the movie Frozen, Tula loves to channel her inner princess while enjoying tomboy antics like climbing trees, splashing in mud puddles. What better way to send or receive some good news than to receive a postcard like the postcard Charlie and Lou Weber received. We don't have the picture of that, and it would be a little hard to read on the screen, but this is what Lou and Charlie Weber received from her. Thank you for being such a wonderful grandparents and great-grandparents. We are blessed to have you in our lives. Sending you lots of love, Laura, Jonathan, and Tula. What a blessing to have that. If you have some good news to offer, please let any of us in Pastoral Services know, and we will help you share it.